A very, very warm good evening. This is Arnav Chaudhary. You are on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot, and it's another live Indian football discussion on my channel. It's January the 22nd. It's a Wednesday. And I guess we saw another very, very exciting Indian Super League match in which Bengaluru FC suffered a 2-3 home loss to Odisha FC, and that creates a very interesting situation in the league table. I think as of today, after the 17th match with 9 points behind Mohammedan Supergiant, BFC, I think, are out of the championship race, while at the other end, Odisha are back in the top 6, at least for now. Mumbai City FC, of course, on Sunday play Mohammedan Sporting. And looking at how close the race is, Odisha and Mumbai are now only 4 points away from BFC. So BFC, I think, might be in danger of dropping out of the top 6. I think that's something insane to think about and just think. But if you've seen, 3 out of the last 4 games are losses. Lost today, a draw before that in Hyderabad, a loss to Mohammedan Sporting at home, a loss at Jamshedpur FC, and that is something which is crazy to some extent, which is insane. But this is how it is, and I think consistency is something which I feel should be a topic I discuss. Blue says hi as well from my side. What a disaster class performance by Roshan. Yeah. And Roshan, to me, at the start of the season, when BFC were flying, even after that, when they started to be a little wobbly and shaky, still was one of their better performances. So therefore, to me, very, very clearly, so therefore, for me, 1 second, just need to rectify this stat. Thank you. And to me, and I think it speaks today for Gerard Zaragoza. I criticized him heavily after the last 2 games or last 2-3 games where we were doing lives after the Jamshedpur game and after the Hyderabad game about his criticism of the referees. And today he openly said, "What do I do with a national team player?" And without naming Roshan, but this was Roshan today, and that's the reality. Blue, just to add your comment, Roshan was my best left back till today. Now I don't know. That's the problem. We come back to the consistency factor again. I mean, you could see that Gerard Zaragoza was not trying to explode in front of the microphone. He's trying to control his inner emotions, which I understand for a coach, right? It is part of a coach, to be emotional. But the thing is, when he says, I have to teach a national team player not to keep your arm out, but keep it behind your back, I think that says it all when we talk about football basics and what our players know or don't know. And again, he answered the question himself in the post. He was like, should I be teaching Indian national team players how to hold their hands when these crosses come in? And then he said, oh, yes, I need to. That is the sad, sad reality of where we stand today. And that's where we are. Tipurasa Vlog TV says, can Indian football team qualify in FIFA World Cup in future? I would hope so, but I guess there's no guarantee if and when India will qualify. I think that's a very, one day, I hope as long as I am or we are all living, that we will see India play in a FIFA World Cup. But I don't know. I don't know if that date will come tomorrow, if that date will come, I don't know, 50 years, 100 years. I have no clue, to be honest, of where we stand on that. Surat says BFC, and then BFC is terrible now. I think BFC will not be in top 6. Surat, that is my fear for BFC if they do not get their act together. And if you look at the performances of the teams behind them, You know, Odisha are on the points, Mumbai City are on the points, Northeast are on the points, Jamshedpur now have 2 matches less than them. Punjab theoretically, Blasters, BFC needs to start winning again because they need to ensure top 6. So therefore, that is going to be the question for BFC, I think, in the coming days. And Jagwasa was also right. The first 20 minutes, BFC was on a roll, and you feared for Odisha FC and said, okay, this could be a 4-5-6-0 for BFC if they continue to play like that. A brilliant goal from Sunil Chetri. That was really class. And that is something that we'll go back to. How do you see people say lack of facility for certain sports and poor organization? That's why we perform poor in Olympics. Facilities is not a problem, Murali. I've said this multiple times. Forget the facility factor. And I think the coaching, administration, no doubt about it. I think the coaching is the main part where we are suffering. Bihar Sports University, how do you see it, Murali? I don't know enough about them to be able to judge them. Pathetic BFC, Shumit. Yeah, I can't add anything more. Jovanovic, disappointed because I thought at the start, again, Jovanovic, Beke, Pujari, Roshan, Gurpreet. I think at the end of September, early October, we all would have said, they're a great team. And suddenly we see them where they are. Very disturbing, to say the least, of how BFC have performed in the recent past. But that was something which is there. Is Sangwan the best left back at the moment? I can't trust Shubhashish at all. Blue. Up to yesterday, I would have said Roshan. After today's match, I guess Sangwan, right? So that is where we stand at the moment. But you can't trust Shubhashish, but Shubhashish will be in the mix. How much is Gerard responsible for the recent downfall of BFC? Navido Frivia. I'll call you Navi in short if that's fine. I think he and his coaching staff have something to play in this, because I feel that there was too much of tinkering around with the squad that he has a squad and he wanted to rotate, play around with the squad. And that to me seems to have not worked for BFC. That to me seems to be something that I'd say didn't work for them. And that seems to me to have backfired, because I think, that's something which I think is a reason. He gave them also a few get out of jail, reasons. With this referee criticism today, he couldn't say anything about the ref, but had to blame his own players and these mistakes. I think this season will be decided, and the team will win the League Shield, and the team will win the ISL Cup, which makes in the right matches the least number of mistakes. So that's something. At what age did you start playing football in Germany? When did you fall in love with the sport? Rohit, I started playing in our backyard with my mother. My mother used to wear a sari and used to put on kids, you would call, sports shoes. And when I think it was 3-4 years old, in kindergarten, you start falling in love with the game. So that's when I fell in love with football. Surat says, first of all, I think Bengaluru FC should remove Sandhu first. Casual behavior of some BFC players should be tackled first. Yeah, but who are you going to put in? Look at if I look at Bengaluru FC's squad, right? If we want to talk about their squad, right? Let me check who. Just one second. Let me just find their goalkeepers as well. Who are their, if they've got goalkeeping options. I don't think they've got goalkeeping options, right? Who are the other goalkeepers? Sahil Punia, not sure. Laltham Mavia Ralte hasn't played in ages. Those are the options. So I don't see Gurpreet going out. And that casual approach you're talking about, yes, I felt that today also at some stages. Like I thought in the second half, the player who had the most, given the most energy, in my opinion, and who came on, Ryan Williams, once more. Sudden downfall to BFC, yeah, enough. We've been discussing that. Big problem, in my opinion. Yeah, they're unable to, they're conceding too many goals, sadly, right? With 2 goals scored up front, they would have earlier this season would have won the game 2-1 or 2-0. At the moment, they're unable to not concede, and that is causing the biggest problem. And BFC's track record is now 3 losses and 1 draw in the last 4, right? So therefore, 1 out of 12 has hit them hard at the wrong time. As I said, the longer the league lasts, the more important is consistency. It's not about the quality of play. Therefore, Mohun Bagan Supergiant are at the top. Are they playing great? No, they're not. But they've picked up crucial wins because of the quality that Mohun Bagan have. And BFC, if you see, Sunil has been amongst the goals. Mendes has been amongst the goals. Ryan Williams is creating, but they're conceding too many. Gurpreet and his backline, too many mistakes since that match day 7. And since then, over the last 10, 11 matches, that's why I did a video a few days ago. And that just sums up, right? I mean, I did 3 days ago a video, what happened in IS 11 to BFC. And I think that video of what I said 3-4 days ago actually applies even more today, with just, sadly, I defended Roshan in that video and saying he's one of the ones that actually played better. Now, even Roshan has joined that club. Was first penalty given by referee was right according to you, sir? Yes, Suraj. Referee spot on, red card and penalty. You can't say anything about that. That's Jovanovic. But again, Roshan is well involved, but that is a card. The fact that we're going back to Pritham Kota and Shubhashish Bose in 2025, Blue's crying about it. Blue, I've said that. Didn't I say last year multiple times that Pritham Kota needs to be in the mix? Whatever people say, I've said that. If I like it or not, Shubhashish Bose is, to me, again, Roshan has not shown me the consistency over the years, even in their worst of forms. I think these guys, some or the other, will try to play for India, right? And that is something which is very, very disturbing. Do you think certain time at international level our physique is exposed? Yes, we all know our quality, because in Syria match, clearly we could see the physique. Physique is one of the things, right? It's physique, physical fitness, speed, stamina. So therefore, yeah, it's an advantage. It can also be a disadvantage. You think BFC should have gone for Pritham Kota Roshan swap? Navi, it wasn't an option. Because Chennai were losing Bikash Jungnam to the Blasters, that change happened. So therefore, no. And again, Roshan had a terrible day today. And therefore, but again, Roshan is been one of their better performers. Sorry. Right, already nearly 14 minutes. The one thing that I, of course, have to always say, do like, share, and subscribe to Arunfoot here on YouTube. As always, thank you for your support. And therefore 8 likes so far. Thank you very much. And hopefully we will grow the channel. More people joining in. We're at the moment at 2,188. Thank you very much. And also do watch the short videos. Seeing that less and less of you guys are watching those, let me know what kind of topics. I'm trying to, do stuff which are current affairs stuff. Yeah, today I did something on the crisis at Mohammedan Sporting. Yesterday I did something on what has been happening in the transfer window. Before that on FC Goa, BFC also. Mohun Bagan discussed the brutal Indian football realities. People want to talk about it, but not want to watch it. So guys, do watch that as well. Ryan Williams was the only player who was giving his 200%. Yeah, Arnav, totally agree with you on that. Hi, Roshabh, welcome back. This season is all about who can bottle. Yes, Blue, perfectly said. I think that is the biggest danger at the moment, that if you want to survive in the ISL, it's about, committing the least number of mistakes, and sometimes it's just about getting results. I clearly feel, I don't know how you guys feel. If I look at the ISL at the moment, I felt that last season the standard was much, much higher. The competition was much, much better. At the moment, it's about just grinding out results. That's why I said a while back when Mumbai City were winning the games 1-0, I said, you know what? If you're able to win those games 1-0, you're playing terrible, but you're still winning 1-0. Who knows where that can get you, right? And that is something. And those 3-0 losses, all the 3-0 losses that Mumbai City conceded at home, if they had gotten, even one win on maybe 2 draws, where they could have been. And therefore, that is the crazy part about this. Getting results is all that we're playing for. You often said our Indian player reached ceiling level. What about in international level? Any player you left? Murali, if we're talking about Roshan, who I at least thought, was doing good, suddenly he makes disastrous mistakes. And these are basic mistakes. You don't keep your arm outstretched, handball and all that stuff. Tuck it in, right? Therefore, now international level, if you reach the ceiling at the national level, how are you going to go on a higher level at international level? The problem with current Indian team is if we point anyone bad, but the substitution even bad, it's the same level, no use. That's the point. Murali, that is what I'm saying, that our team is not the best. Again, very, very clearly. And the substitutions are worse. You call them bad. I say the so-called substitutes are worse because we're talking, again, up to yesterday, I would have said Roshan, great season. Today, Roshan, boom. Right? And that is the problem that we face at the moment. Kids in India say we drop our playing career to financial problems. What about, how they tackle poor kids? Morali, forget Europe. Comparing it with Europe makes no sense. Europe is, we've got a social security structure and everything. Don't compare it with Europe. Let's compare it with South America. Let's compare it with Africa. Let's compare it to other parts of Asia. Let's compare it to Central America. When you go for a sporting career, it is somewhat of a gamble because there are millions of kids who want to become professional footballers or professional sports persons, and where do you achieve it? So therefore, if you are going in with the mindset that, I need to have a job, I need to have a pure job, don't try to become a sports athlete. Because sports, as an athlete, I know it from very, very good friends who've tried it in different parts of the world, it is a sacrifice at the end of the day. You have to sacrifice in some sort of form or way. Otherwise, it will not happen. Period. Right. And this is something that we have to accept. And in India, if you want to go the safe way, it'll happen. But if you are not going to do that, if you're not going to take risks, we're not going to get anywhere. Gurpreet needs is too comfy at club and national level. But with that salary and with that background, as you say, yes, I agree with you on that, but he's not going to leave BFC. And BFC will not as well. Do you think it's the end of Petratos in Mohun Bagan? By the way, Nina subbed him off. And you add even... Sorry. Even Suhail looked better. Yesterday was a shock, to say the least. Petratos, to me, is the reason of the success of Supergiant in the last few years. And when he was subbed off, I think he also realized that at the and to me, I don't know if he was angry at the coach. I think he was more angry about himself. So that's that. I don't agree on the point regarding Suhail being better than him. I think this is this whole hyping of Suhail that a lot of people are doing. According to me, Petratos, I don't know. I don't think it's end of the road. I think he'll stay. Let's see what happens. I think Indian players really lack intent to play for a team and make their ground really, what kind of changes you think BFC should make BFC now? Suraj, I think now, what changes can you make? Who can you bring in? Are there any players that can make that difference? You've brought in three champion players from Mumbai City. You brought in other player. Mendes is a good player. But I don't know. I don't know. And the intent, yes, that's why I'm saying that to me, because of the intent, I think Sunil Chhetri needs to play, right? You said facilities, not problem, but kid who practice at youth level not getting proper ground. Murali, proper ground to me is a bonus. If you see in a lot of parts in the developing world, even players who've come through to the top level of sports, and to me, the coaching is more important. The quality of coaching decides of where you could go or reach, right? I have seen, for example, in Mizoram, when I first went there, they didn't have artificial turf grounds or proper grass grounds. Forget in the Northeast, in the hills, sometimes you just have a uneven barren patch of land. That is your ground. And if you can play on that ground, you will be even more comfortable when you play on a proper ground. So even hardships are part of your growth, or can be part of your growth. I think we pamper our teams too much. I think we pamper our players too much. They need to experience some bit of hardship before they can get to the top, because then they value what they get at the top, right? In the ISL level, I think we're spoiling the players. You can't put it back, because then they won't sign for clubs, but you need to take care of it. Yesterday you said much of Jeffrey's success depends on their foreigners, and removing Eze exposes them, but isn't it true for every team, including Mohun Bagan? I see even foreigners hitting their peak under Khalid. Yeah, Navi. I mean, I said that, and I stick to it. I mean, every club has a certain number of foreigners who make that difference, no doubt about it. Stephen Eze to me is one of those foreigners where I say he makes that special difference. I think Stephen Eze is that one exceptional player at that club. A club like Mohun Bagan has multiple options. If a McLaren is not firing, then you think Cummings could be firing. Greg Stewart, let's take Petratos out. But at Mohun Bagan, for example, we don't talk enough about Alberto Rodriguez and about Tom Aldred. So that's the thing. Yes, you're right. And every club, BFC today also lost, amongst other things, because Jovanovic, conceded that red card. To be honest, Petratos needs to be released. He's performing worse than an Indian footballer. So yeah, but I don't think I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe there is going to be a conversation, but yeah, that's something. Let's wait and see. Who thinks Suhail looked good yesterday? Saw many tweets that he was good. Petratos didn't pass him, etc. Comments. He was probably one of the worst players ever start in ISL. Blue, I couldn't agree more with you. It is again an Indian player being overhyped and the blame being sought with other players. Suhail should not be playing in the ISL. Let him play CFL, let him play Reliance Foundation Development League, but he's not an ISL starting 11 player. And this yesterday proved that Suhail, that people say, oh, national team and this and that, he's not. No. It's another, I don't know, whatever other players we've spoken about. For example, someone who that if I look at it, I think Jerry M from Odisha needs to have a look in. He's in form, he's playing well, but again, what impact can he have? Because height issue is there, physicality is an issue. Can he play international football? But from football wise, again, no Isaac at the moment. Even a Rahul KP, much improved at the moment. So let's wait and see. What kind of changes BFC should make to get points? Suraj, I think they need to find their starting 11 again. I don't know why Capo is out. Capo to me was consistent in that defensive midfield. Suresh is all over the place, but he's not keeping the team together. I think Ryan Williams needs to start. Those two are clear cut. And if you don't have don't have an extra slot up front, then play Sunil up front. Those would be some of the things that I do. Gerard Zaragoza is tinkering with his team too much because he has, let's say, 18 players of a similar level, but he doesn't have those exceptional players. I saw a women's U15 game in Reliance Foundation. Young Sham's YouTube channel today. Why is quality of women's football so abysmal? Commentator said that it feels like they're playing for first time. Ranjit, most probably some of these girls might have even played a first ever competitive match. I don't know what match you saw, but that might also be very, very much possible. Do you think any coach who come from abroad should have known the level of Indian player? How, Murali, how? A lot of these coaches nowadays do their homework before they come to India, but they can't know the level of Indian football. And again, I think if you see today the way Zaragoza was reacting at the post-match television, you could realize that he's like, oh God, what is our level? That is the same thing to think that someone like a Gerard Zaragoza is realizing, oh my God, this is the level of Indian football at the moment. And this is something, for this contract, it's evident due to quality of assets, quality of form is 2 years. Most of them are signed on 2-year contracts, right? Or on 12 months or 24-month contracts. Yes, some you have to sign on 3-year contracts, otherwise they wouldn't come to India. But most of the players that come into the ISL have 2-year contracts. All ISL teams are carried through by foreigners. India just play the support role. So Robert, yeah, sad reality at the moment, but this is where we stand in this moment, and we need to realize that, recognize that. I've been saying this for a while, and to me, that is something which nobody wants to acknowledge. I know a lot of people at the top echelons, and they say, oh no, things are improving, things are getting better, but where? I don't see that. Kids should focus on sport and education. If they excel at sports, then they should pursue sport after 12th. Neeraj Chopra got his bachelor's degree after enrolled in 2021 at 22, 23 years old. Rohit, I think individual sports is always easier to manage than a career in, let's say, football or hockey or cricket or whatever. I think an individual sports person's, but I'm not sure, so therefore, let's see what it is. Many ISL sides penning foreigners for long term is a problem. Yeah, it is, but they're trying to hold on to the foreigners, the good ones, so that the others don't take them away. Because the ISL is also an intra-foreigner selling market, right? You've got a lot of teams who've taken foreigners from here, there, or gotten even foreigners back, who've gone back to their respective countries. Lalvin Zwala, 8 matches, 7 goals. If Edmund is being called, why not him? Yeah, good question. But do you think that he's ready for international football? Does he deserve a call-up? That would be my question, right? If you see, Lalbiaknia seems to be scoring multiple goals in certain matches, and then he's not available for 2-3 matches to score. So, so let's wait and see. Today, Ranjit Bajaj did a podcast about MSC issue. Let him do it. Everyone is allowed to have an opinion. And people will watch it more because he says something. Again, do they understand the problems in Mohammedan Sporting? Do they understand the cultural issues behind these issues at Mohammedan or at East Bengal or at Mohun Bagan? I don't think so. I think, sounds bad, but the reality is I think you need to be Bengali and understand how Maidan football culture works to understand how these things work or don't work, and the thing is, let's see what happens. By the way, Delhi FC is 11th in I-League at the moment. ISO FC finally won 4-2. Yeah, that's right, Blue. The fact is, majority teams who play youngsters are playing them, not that they are better than the seniors, it's just they don't have any options. Exactly. Punjab FC is, I think, a prime example, who played a lot of youngsters. And to me, at some stage, if you take Novoselic, another example like Stephen Eze, if you take Novoselic out of Punjab FC, that Punjab FC defense is, will struggle most probably even in the I-League sometimes. That is the sad reality of where we are at the moment. And that is, let's wait and see. Should ISL clubs go for Lalbiak? Yeah. as he's picking up form. Is winter transfer window over? Transfer window is open till the end of the month. Lal Biaknia was on a trial in the summer with Mohun Bagan. They found some medical issues and then didn't sign him. So they were interested. But if you ask me, Pranjal, scoring goals in the I-League and scoring goals in the ISL is apple and oranges, or apple or bananas, or whatever. The difference is so huge. And then people saying that he should be playing national team, I don't know. If you just look at the physicality aspect of it, I don't know. And again, that's the thing. Any national team up there? No, Rushabh, nothing at the moment. Except, of course, Shillong has been inspected. So let's see if FIFA and AFC clear it, because there's an issue with the training ground, or the non-existent training ground at the moment. So let's see if they can clear it. Very interesting to see that. Supergiant defending their shield. Shobik, let's see. I think the other teams are trying hard not to catch up with them. I think Saturday, FC Goa versus Chennai, that's going to be a crucial match. If FC Goa can win, then we most probably have a title race. If not, Mohun Bagan still has a massive advantage. And BFC in this form, BFC's next match is against Mohun Bagan. Normally, I would have said top clash. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Lal Biaknia isn't ISL level. Exactly, Zoravar. Unavada, are you Bengali? Yes, Shovik, I am Bengali. I think he deserves, because it's his second season scoring this much. Blues. Yeah, that's nice. But again, who's he scoring against? How is he scoring? You need to, don't just look at the stats. Just see who's he scoring against, where and why and how. And when was the last time an I-League winning striker, an Indian striker who was scoring goals in the I-League for fun, that he made it in the ISL? Name me one, right? Molina is gone a bottle shield for Mohammed Supergiant. Yeah, Molina is, but the others are also bottling it, right? So Molina's biggest advantage at the moment is that the others are worse. Molina's biggest advantage is that the others are, according to me at least, Zoravar, are not getting the results that they need. BFC, to me, today exited the league shield race. I mean, BFC, 9 points behind, 7 games to play. If they they would have to actually win nearly all their games, and they need to start winning then on the 27th in Kolkata. Otherwise, looks tough to me. I think Molina will lose against BFC as well, because he's Molina after all. Let's see. BFC is BFC after all. So therefore, who's the bigger bottler? Is it Molina or is it Zaragoza with his team? So therefore, for me, I can't see past Mohun Bagan winning this, to be very, very honest, because for that, the others, Mumbai City bottled it with their 3-0-3 home losses. If they, as I said, if they got even 5 points more, I think Mumbai City might be even now with a shot with a chance. But FC Goa is the only one. Jamshedpur, that would be a crazy one. But yeah, Jamshedpur then would need to start getting results on a regular basis away from home. But otherwise, it's FC Goa. BFC, again, for me, exited today this race. And it's insane. It's insane, these results in the last few weeks in the Indian Super League. What was going to happen? Let's wait and see. More than 34 minutes. Those of you who are watching, if you haven't, do leave a like, a share behind. Always, thank you. 13 likes so far. It gets more people interested maybe in this content. So for me, subscribe as well, and let's keep on growing. Referee today as well. No, Zoravar, no blame of the referee. He clearly put the blame on the players. That was, I thought, you know, um, yeah, that was very, very mature today. I have to say that. Maybe Zaragoza listened to what I said the other day. I was quite angry about it, but it was quite mature, and you could see it was oozing out of him. He wanted to explode, and I don't want to be a BFC player today in that, or would have liked to have been a BFC player in the dressing room in the last half an hour, 45 minutes, because Zaragoza would have. I mean, he would have had a full go at his team today. The moment you said you need to be a Bengali to understand Mohammedan culture, I understood what you are Bengali. Thanks, Shovik. Yeah, I mean, it sounds sometimes, it is something of a thing, and it's Kolkata, and its football is a very, very complex thing. I know a lot of people explain to me, oh, it's about this and that, and I say, listen, if you don't understand it, you will have to have that experience and understand what it is. And I know a lot of players, outstation players, fail. So that's that. Hi, Anurag. Never red for me. What's your take? For me, Anurag, clear red. Last man pulls him down, turns him around, penalty, red card. Why not? Why not red? What about India U20 squad? Your views on the selection of team and coach? Suraj, about the coach, I can't say much. Baby Thomas, yeah, okay. Not much to say about him in that way. On the squad, it is a younger squad because the clubs don't want to release players, but that's a problem you have around the world. It's not an Indian only, or I know a lot of people are blaming the clubs or then blaming the AIFF. This is a problem which you have. If you are in the season, you are not just having ISL, but you've got RFDL as well. So therefore, it's a good test for the younger boys. I don't care about the results, and so for me, yeah, it's a good thing, the exposure that they get. So yeah, let them go and play there. Other teams are making it easy for Munir to lift the shield. Exactly, Shovik. Exactly my point. That's what I'm saying, that my friends who are Mohun fans, I don't think you need to be worried. I mean, even if Molina is doing whatever he can not to win the league, the others are doing the same thing. So this is like, it's a snail race where everybody's like, should I go ahead or move back? Should I go ahead, move back? Should I go more? I mean, if it goes on like this, Mohun might not even reach 50 points, which I thought at the season, I would have said 52 points would be needed to win the ISL Shield. So very, very interesting scenario. Hi, Kumar. Ronaldo, if you have time, can you do a podcast with anyone? Kumar, I head to India on Sunday. I have to prepare some stuff for the handball projects that I'm working on. I would love to have actually spoken with a few people. We're just not able to sit down and have that conversation. Would love to, but at the moment it's a little tight. Therefore, this week I'll do a lot. Next week I might do a lot less lives as well, because I'm traveling. Do you think Celis was a good recruit for East Bengal? Zoravar, I don't know enough about the player. I thought against FC Goa, he did okay in his first match, but again, finishing was again an issue. Yeah, so therefore, I think he'll have to prove himself in the coming matches. Can he make a difference, or does he become, we've had these players, last few years, who come in the winter. You think after one or two matches, okay, they can make a difference for East Bengal, and then the players don't really make a difference. Therefore, I'm very, very reserved. Bart Jindal tweeted criticizing referee and ISL. Did he? 1 second. Let me pick out that tweet. What did Bart say? 1 second. Let me check. Bart Jindal, let me quote him. Never read. How can the refs not know the rules of the game? Chinna Bengaluru FC, this is a proper robbing. Not good enough for the AIFF and ISL. This kind of refereeing is preventing in football improving. And this shows, sorry, but yeah, what am I going to say? To me, again, with all respect, Path, know the rules, right? If you are in the box, It doesn't matter. If you are the last man and you're stopping a player from having an opportunity to score, it's a red card, right? And so therefore, I think it can be given yellow and penalty, but some people go for straight red. Kumar, it doesn't matter what you think or I think. Normally the rule is, in this case, it's a straight red. And Parth Jindal now joins the club of people who think that they know things better, that they understand things better, and they don't have an effing clue of things. This is our biggest problem. Indian football is failing because the so-called people who are running clubs or managing clubs or owning clubs think they know football, and they know football better than those people who are running it, right? If you are running BFC at that level, where is the top level talent, which is the best? Your best player is a 40-year-old. What are you talking about? Do your own homework first. This is what Parth Jindal should be focusing on. Do your own work as a stakeholder. Don't always go on finger pointing. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. If Punjab forced to play in Delhi because of rigid stadium regulations, why can't they play to, or don't want to play? They want to play in they don't want to play in Punjab. They want to play in and around Chandigarh. Let's be very clear. As someone who was involved in the formation of Round Glass Punjab FC in 2017, 18 and 19, the aim of the club is to be in and around that Chandigarh, Mohali belt. Simple, right? For them to go to Amritsar or Ludhiana is like for them to go to Delhi. But for them, they want to be around Mohali, and that is something that the local organizers are not getting. In my opinion, FC Goa are the favorites at Shield contention at the moment. They are unbeaten at the moment. Zoravar, you're right. But Zoravar, one loss at FC Goa, and that whole pack of cards crumbles. That's the reality. That's why we're talking about inconsistency. Huh? Ornavada, do you think ISL Cup has any value? Shield winners get the chance to play in Asia. Super Cup winners also get opportunity to play in Asia, but ISL winners only gets the cup. Shovik, there are two things. And I'll tell you what I thought in 2014 when we started the ISL and I was with Mumbai City. I was not a fan of the ISL playoffs. I'll tell you why. Because I come from the European school of thought and I'm a purist on that front, right? I like it to be a pure league. But I have realized since 2014, the amount of interest that the ISL playoffs actually generate in the whole season sometimes generates as much interest as the ISL playoffs. It's a crazy thing because we've had some of the craziest matches have happened in the ISL playoffs. Or if we talk about the last 2 years, what will we talk about? We talk about Mumbai City's comeback against FC Goa, that 3-2, right? We talk about Sunil's free kick against the Blasters. Hyderabad winning the ISL Cup. So we talk about things which are linked to the ISL playoffs. And therefore, if I like it or not, you're not getting any spot anywhere. But I think the ISL playoffs is something which makes it very, very interesting and which interests the Indian football fan or the general football fan to show an interest. Therefore, there is sometimes more interest in the playoffs than in regard to the whole season. Hello, sir. Even after today's game, BFC coach blaming the referee. Can you please tell us which decision given by the ref was wrong? As per my opinion, referee could have shown few more cards to BFC. I don't think it was wrong. And no, I listen. I was listening to the post-match press conference. I don't know if he said some. Post-match television interview. You know. So therefore, there's nothing to talk about. Good evening. I think the referee didn't make any major mistake during the game. Ishan, yeah. There is the one of the situation where you can maybe give him a card here or maybe give him a card there. It happens across the world, right? So those things will happen. Nicola said Indian player mainly lacking decision making, when to pass and hold these things make huge difference. They develop muscle memory in opposite way. Yeah, there's a lack of muscle memory. What a goal by Chetri, by the way. Yeah, what a goal. That's one of his best goals in the recent. I mean, he scored some spectacular goals. The headers were good. But this goal just shows you what a Sunil Chetri is capable of playing and doing and what others aren't. Simple. That today, Mohan Bagan U15 won the Reliance Foundation Young Champs Kolkata Championship a few years ago. U13 participated and defeated Young Sports 100 final. They will participate in U13 leagues. Okay, interesting. Even owners now blaming referees, feel bad for Indian refs. They neither get good pay, have to have multiple jobs only to be abused every day despite making correct decisions. Yeah, it's becoming a problem. That's what I'm saying, Zoravar. I am saying it is time to start handing out, punishments. Right? Do you think people start blame game when things go wrong, but when they experience success, individual want to share? Murali, I take an example. Right? East Bengal has been all the criticism. Will East Bengal fans come back and say, oh, you know what? Borja Herrera, that foul penalty in the Super Cup final wasn't, because they then say, oh, you know what? There was a penalty a few minutes earlier which wasn't given. So to me is that's the thing, right? You are opportunistic. BFC fans till today most probably will not say that the Sunil Chetri free kick was genuine. You know what? And Adrian Luna said it was genuine. He said, no, it was my mistake. I should have just put the foot in there and Sunil, even if I take a yellow card, that's the way to do it. That's the problem. Fans of different fan groups of different clubs are not willing to accept that when their team does a mistake. That is the sad reality. Like Nituda in our club, running and eating our club, how can he be removed from the club? Any suggestion? Shobik, I honestly don't know. Especially, as I said, in the Maidans, look at the whole situation about Mohammedan Sporting. It is disturbing, to say the least, what's happening in and around Mohammedan Sporting. Even at Mohun Bagan, the things that they're fighting around the club. Those are sad realities of what things are around Indian football these days. How much does Bengal government interfere in Maidan football? Wasn't it the same governance broke at Mohun Bagan and Golka manager at the same time searched and got Imami as East Bengal sponsors? Navi, there are two things. Are they interfering? I don't think so. But these people are, a lot of these people will have connects to the people in the Bengal government, but they also will have contacts with the central government as well. The Mohun Bagan Goenka merger was brokered to some extent by the Bengal government, but more by people from Reliance. And Imami, and before that also Sri Cement, that was brokered by the Bengal government, yes. And also even what has happened at Mohammedan Sporting, I guess the government will have had some say or some involvement in that as well. So therefore, yes. But at the end of the day, the people who are running it, it's the institutions that need change. They still run the clubs like they used to run those clubs 100 years ago. And that doesn't work. Mohun Bagan, why are Mohun Bagan successful? Because the football team affairs are run by Mr. Goenka's people. Good or bad, it's a different, but they are winning trophies. They are spending the most. And that is the model that the other clubs need to, that via the investors, they need to run the clubs. Otherwise, it will not work. The Indian football has moved forward. And once relegation comes into play, I think these, especially Mohammedan and East Bengal, could be in danger. All these Mohun Bagan Super Giant age group boys are practicing in a bunch of Beria grounds, if I'm not wrong, since October. Okay, that's good. Anurag said, if it was outside the box, last man straight red for sure, but it was in the box, you think could have been a yellow. Anurag, that's the point, right? You can discuss it, but I think most of the refs will give a red. I've seen that now. Even if you look at yesterday, one of the decisions in the Champions League, they tend now, because there was this not rule, but this unofficial understanding of saying, you know what, no double punishment. If I'm giving a penalty, give him a yellow. But now it seems to be, I've seen a lot this season where the referees are going back and actually handing out double punishment. So if that's the rule that's being applied, and I look at international football and then I see it replicated in India, I would then say it is right to say, you know what, it is a It's a red card, last man, and also the impact. I mean, he literally turns him around, and that's it. If it was outside the box, last man straight red for sure. But if it was in the box and both players were almost shoulder to shoulder pulling, shirt foul 100%, do you think would be yellow? See, it depends on who is pulling and how is pulling. The point is Diego Mauricio is moving towards the goal, and Diego Mauricio is a master in that. Remember that the cards against East Bengal, the card against East Bengal, right? So therefore, he's smart. Jovanovic needs to be smarter in that. So sometimes you also, what do we say? Sometimes sounds bad, but sometimes you have to actually hand out a yellow or a red just because of stupidity, and this is just sheer stupidity. If we're talking about crazy matches taking place, wouldn't that be happening too in the last few matches? There's heck, even on last match in like Premier League in 2011, 2012. Rushabh, yes, of course. But to me, if you ask me over the last 2-3 years, we will talk about these matches. If we will even talk about last season's ISL Cup final, right? I mean, the League Shield Mohun Bagan Mumbai City match was good. But that game that Mumbai City won in Kolkata a few days later, especially after that, what happened against Goa was, I felt, even more impressive. I think Mumbai City built a momentum towards the end of the season, and the climax was really the final. And therefore, yeah, that's the thing. India desperately needs a cultural revolution. Only then can progress can be achieved both in sports and other sectors. Yeah, Zorawar, very, very right. So ISL playoffs and the ISL Cup is only to make it more interesting. By the way, I personally think Super Cup over ISL Cup. Do you think the same? If you ask the coaches, Shobik, no. See, for example, in the last few seasons, a lot of teams didn't play their full. Forget the last ISL. The last Super Cup, which was during the Asian Cup. But before that, a lot of them, when you're playing April, May, they release the foreigners, right? So therefore, I think that the coaches rate the ISL Cup higher than the Super Cup if it is played at the end of the season. Yeah, Blue. Never a red. How can the refs not know the rules of the game? Chin up Bengaluru FC. This is a proper robbing. Not good enough by the AIFF and ISL. This kind of refereeing is preventing Indian football. Again, as I said, thanks, Blue, for putting in the tweet from Path Jindal. Sorry, Path. You have to do better than this. Emotions here, there. Then I'll come around and start tweeting about games. So let's see. At the cost of repeating myself, I think Chetri is looking the sharpest he has looked in the last 4-5 years. Let's hope he rejoins national team. Ishan, agree? I think the last few games, the goals were good. Today's goal was exceptional. That was world class. To do that cut in the way that Sunil did, brilliant, just brilliant. And that's not even a Sunil of the last 4-5 years. I would have said this is a Sunil you would have said maybe a decade back, right? So this was class. Rohit says, thanks a lot. Like and subscribe. Yeah, do like, subscribe, and of course also share the videos so that more people can join in. 16 likes so far. Thank you very, very much. And we are still at 2,188. So hopefully those of you who might be new and watching today, if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. Watch the other videos, making short videos every day. And trying to interact with you guys. Did something on the Mohammedan Sporting issue today. Yesterday did something on the winter transfer window. Did before that something FC Goa on BFCs. I think that video is still very, very current. Mohun Bagan heading towards defending their ISL League Shield crown. And then, of course, I did something 5 days ago with the brutal Indian football realities. Do watch those videos, spread those videos around. Let's grow the community. And as always, thanks a lot for your support. East Bengal fans abusing Diamantakos on social media. Some of them claim he's cut money signing. So Ravat, Diamantakos was an influential player. To me, but he was injury prone. Let's not forget it. And he's someone, if things are not going well, he is, to me, again, and cut money signing here or there, again. As I said in the summer, East Bengal is going for names rather than looking if the player fits into the club, into the system, into the dressing room. Do you have a strong enough bench? And East Bengal spent a lot of money on Yamantakos, a lot of money on Madi Talal, a lot of money on Jixon, a lot of money on Anwar. Yeah, had little money left and signed Hector Yuste. Yeah. So therefore, but who did you sign for the bench? Purvat Lakra? I don't know. Mark Zoe has not played much. Someone who I thought, but again, it's very difficult. It's not there where East Bengal needs to be, and then again, I think East Bengal fans are now looking at outlets of who the referees were at some stage. Then even Nituda and other people were being abused. Then the coach came in, or the last two coaches have come in for abuse. Then certain players, Hijaji Maher was it earlier. So let's see. As far as I know, there are only two stadiums in Punjab, Jalandhar and Ludhiana. A new football stadium won't suddenly sprout between Mohali and Chandigarh. So what's the logic? Navi, no, there are many more stadiums across Punjab. Amritsar has a stadium, and therefore the question is, see, if a team is from Chandigarh, right? It is going to be difficult to say, bhai, leave Chandigarh and go up north. That will not happen, right? This is a discussion that Punjab FC had at the time, and there's a stadium in Panchkula, which of course Minerva Punjab has used in the past, but that's not, it's not ready yet. And if one second, let me just, I just wanted to do something just to check something. If I think of that for them, it just makes no sense. And they don't want to. Again, that's their base, right? So that is something. If you I'm just checking. Right. So Ludhiana is quite a bit far away from there, and then Jalandhar even further. It's not what they're doing for them. Delhi then, because they've got operations. Roundglass have operations in Gurgaon, which they can fall back on. Are tournaments like sevens a net positive or negative for our football ecosystem? Negative. Ishan, if you ask me, tournaments are a negative. The league is the most important thing, and you realize now, with the league getting longer and longer and longer, consistency, grinding out results, that is very, very important. That is the need of the hour, and that's what we need to work towards, and that is where we are faltering. So therefore, for me, that is the most important thing. Can you explain what the Mohammedan issue? Zoravar, if you want to know in detail, I've made a video about it in the morning. So look at it up under the short ones. I'm just posting it here in the chat, and I'm just putting it in the chat and tagging it at the top if you want to watch it and understand it. Right, that's something that to me is something to be looked. So very simply said, Mohammedan Sporting got invested in 2020 in Bunker Hill. Before they started playing in the I League 2 playoffs, they won that, got promoted, finished second in 21-22, then won it in 23-24 and got promoted to the ISL. Until now, Bunker Hill has no shares of the club. They claim they spend more than 40 crores, 45 crores supposedly on the club. Last summer, ISL, we saw Mohammedan Sporting looking for a second investor who can put in even more money to be able to play ISL. That became Sranchi Sports. Sranchi Sports came in, has paid 16, 17 crores. They're saying, some have even said more than 20. So half of the money that they committed for the first year. And then none of the two entities hold any shares. The Mohammedan Sporting Club Private Limited is still 100% owned by Mohammedan Sporting Club. And that's the issue. And therefore, the club at some stage needs to issue those shares to those entities. Right. An hour just completed. Once again, reminder, if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube. As always, 20 likes. Thanks a lot. Share it with other people. Let them join in. And if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. Let's keep on growing. Let's get more people into our conversations, our discussions. 2,188. Thank you very, very much, guys. And also, if you have friends, others who are interested in Indian football, do share it with them. Let's keep on growing the community. And thanks once again. Today, Molina was attending India versus England cricket match in Eden Gardens. Interesting as well. Most probably, I guess, on invitation of Mr. Goenka. He's gone there. I don't know how many cricket matches that Molina has actually watched in the past. Once relegation comes, you mean East Bengal will be the one to get relegated first and our management are the ones to be blamed? Shovik, I hope not. But it's a danger. It's a danger that is there for not only East Bengal, but also for Mohammedan. It will be interesting to see how Hyderabad, what happens to Hyderabad in the summer after all the chaos that we've had over the last 2.5 years, if they sort themselves out and set their house in order. So we will see. How big is Germany compared to India? Does anyone knows everyone? No, not everyone knows everyone. Germany is a population of about 83, 84 million, much, much smaller than India. But again, the country is so big, you can't know each other. Hi, Manolo. We want Sunil to come back, but the question is, will he want to come back? It's almost February. If he wanted to come back, then discussion should have been started by Manolo. See, Manolo, yes, but this is something which I think Manolo needs to do, and that doesn't have to happen publicly. In my opinion, if Manolo Marquez is talking to Sunil and trying to sort out something with Sunil to say, hey, Sunil, I want you back in the national team, I don't need to know. I will only want to know, let's say at the beginning of Feb, Sunil is playing for us again. I don't need to know. I honestly don't need to know more. And if that happens, I am going to be very, very happy, because to me, that's the most important thing. Sunil Chhetri needs to be playing in March. If we want to have any chance of qualifying for the 2027 edition of the AFC Asian Cup, we need Sunil back. No, I meant the value of the cup holds. Organizing them is totally depends on the officials, right? When should Super Cup should be played according to Shobik? Ideally, Super Cup should be a cup which is in parallel to the ISL and I League, right? It should be if it's a proper cup competition, you have certain rounds which are held through the season, and then you have a final, or maybe you have a semi-final and final in the last week of the season. I don't know. That might be an option, but I would rather have it like that than rather have it as a season-ending tournament. Do you think some clubs haven't made the most of the winter transfer window? Ishan, the question is, I think clubs are trying, but where are the players? I mean, that's why I said, to me, even before Pritham played for Chennai FC, it was a wise move of Chennai to say, you know what, we will send Bikash now to the Blasters and we take Pritham as an alternative. Because otherwise, in the summer, they wouldn't have a centre back and they would have to search in the market. So that is the problem that you have. I know that Mumbai City, I know that other clubs are looking for players. And it's not easy. Everyone is looking. Even a Mohan Bagan is looking for an Indian centre back, right? Where are the players? And this is what I've been saying for the last 2 years. Our pool is getting smaller and smaller. Whatever is coming from the youth upwards is not good enough. It's not challenging. They might be good for 3 matches, 5 matches, and then they suddenly disappear. Right? So that's the... Part should introspect himself what he's doing in the youth sector, despite having a decent grassroots structure with teams starting from youth there, yet to produce a player near the caliber of Chhetri. Yeah, Rava, that's my point. Forget the caliber of Chhetri. I want, with the money that BFC is spending, I would say it is more important for them to produce a player of a caliber which is higher than Sunil, with a bigger potential, and they haven't. Vineet Venkatesh is the best that they've produced so far in the last few years. East Bengal management has no plans and brain to run our club. That's the real truth. Shovik, very sad, but yeah, but how many East Bengal fans will say that and talk about it? That's the problem at East Bengal, right? It's already a decade since they're running their academy until now. None of the players they have produced looked technically good enough to replace any of the senior Indian players. Yeah, so that's a sad reality. But ask him that now. Who owns Mohammedan now? Blues. A Mohammedan Sporting Club owns 200% Mohammedan Sporting Club Private Limited. So the entity which was playing I-League and now is playing ISL is in the hands of the club, and not as it should be 30 to 31% each, depending. I think 61% goes out. I had originally heard the 30% with Bunker and 31% with Shachi. Now people are saying 30 and a half, 30 and a half. We'll have to wait and see. And I've said the municipality will construct a football stadium or stadium for that town, but in India it will not happen because of corruption. Do not ask proof that my family is involved, but have family political connections. Yeah, it is a problem. But again, for Round Glass, they've been trying a lot of things, and in this aspect, it's, nothing has happened. People are scared about relegation. Let the league survive. Things aren't looking good. Yeah, and the league is growing. Our problem is this league that we have is at a stage where we should be honest enough to ourselves and say, you know what? Do we want to grow faster? Do we want to grow slower? And again, next season we'll have 14 teams. Do we actually have enough Indian footballers to have a league of 14 teams? And my simple answer is no. If you ask me, the answer can only be a big no. But the problem here is, who is going to say that? Who's going to take that call? And once relegation comes in, there are certain entities which, when we go down to the I-League, will disappear. And the biggest question I go back to is, will FSDL extend its contract in some sort of form or way with the AIFF or not? Or does the ISL actually totally disappear in the summer? That risk is also there. I agree we have a pool of 80 odd Indian players that are capable of playing in ISL. Yeah, 80 is even saying a lot. 60 would be my number. Our club needs a good foreign CDM, but we bought a winger. God knows how that makes sense. Shovik, yeah. Is there any way to stop overpaying Indian players? Blues, I think the club needs to come together and take a call on it. And no one is doing that. Right? So the clubs need to come together and speak about it. Implement a salary cap which works. But again, look at the salaries that Mohun Bagan have paid to an Apuya, to an Anirudh Thapa, to a Sahal. Look at what East Bengal is paying to a Jikson or to an Anwar. Yeah, it's gone to a ridiculous level. What are your thoughts on Interkashi, considering they're favorites for promotion? Don't you think it's a tad bit optimistic to build a club up? No, I don't. Navi, knowing the people behind it, and I have to decide on the 1st of Feb, do I watch Mohammedan versus Mohun Bagan or do I watch Interkashi versus Gokulam? I'm just trending actually towards watching Interkashi versus Gokulam because I potentially watch Mohun Bagan versus Punjab FC on the 5th. Because the guy or the key person behind Interkashi is someone who built Atletico de Kolkata in 2014. So they have the right people behind it. And they have got a plan and a strategy behind which most of the ISL clubs don't. So therefore, that's going to be key. By the way, last match, Kian played decent. Hope he can get that level of his potential. Blue, it is good. But for me, Kian Nasiri is the best young player of his generation from a technical, tactical aspect, right? That's not good enough. I go back myself. I played in a 5-a-side game against the 17-year-old Kian, and I was impressed. And of course, I knew who he was, but you could see that this kid is special, and let's see. Mohammedan is keen on signing Param Veer from PFC, but aren't willing to make an official bid at the moment, maybe during next transfer window. Param has a long-term contract at Punjab FC, if I know, and Punjab FC are trying to, let's see if they're going to get him. But for him, I don't think going to Mohun Bagan makes sense. He's 17. He needs to play. And how many minutes is he going to play at Mohun Bagan? He'll just play out of there. He will not play in the first team. It makes no sense. I think 16 team is more than enough. Shayan, 16 team is 16 too many. Not 16 too many. 6 too many. I would rather have an ISL with 10 teams. That is what at the moment our players pool with 4 foreigners playing. You know, yeah, makes sense. 16 is too many. Look at, if you've watched over the last 2-3 years, we are diluting our standard way too much. Modern when came, as I said, Niger Dom, but actually they scanned Ranchi and Banker. Niger Dom in Bengali, what Blue wrote is, on my own power, on my own will, so to say, I came to the ISL. To me, that is something. That's the challenge. To me, that's the big challenge. I would say, because it is not easy to play ISL. And the Kolkata clubs, including East Bengal and Mohun Bagan Athletic Club, need to learn what it means to play ISL. Right? What do you think would be FSDL's demands going forward? Toba, for them first is to be able to run the ISL. Maybe they'll come back and say, we only run ISL, we'll give you a certain amount of money and you take care of the rest. But for the AIFF, it would mean, how can the AIFF run it? Right? The 50 crores that they get, 50 crore plus, that's what they run on. So therefore, 60 odd players, out of which around 34 are called for national camp. I don't think there isn't a lot of difference in quality amongst those who have played for national, even those who haven't yet. Ishan, I think there's quite a bit of difference between those who have played and those who haven't have played, because I think international experience counts. I think that international football is something of a level, which is higher and which you need to be capable of. And that is something where a lot of players are struggling. And to me, if you don't have that international experience, and that is something I think coaches need to use more. They need to be players in friendly tournaments. Igor didn't do that. Manolo also didn't try players too much, I would have said. That's the challenge. And that's going to be the question now. If can you find somewhere a player where you would say, this boy or that boy needs to play? I don't see that player. That's the danger. And whenever I see someone performing, it is someone who said, okay, you know what, that player has been around for a while. I think reducing the number of teams in us is one way to stop overpaying. Could be. But but I don't know if it's going to happen. At present, the most overpaid Indian player is Anwar. 5 crore for an Indian centre back who's injury prone is too much. It's not 5, it's a little less than 5 crores, but yeah, but still, it's way too much. Nalin Zwala is firing for ISL. He needs a good eye to scout and give him a million top tier. Shayan, he's not good enough for ISL. I-League and ISL, Indian striker, moving up, very, very difficult. And he failed. Mohun Bagan looked at him in the summer. He failed a medical, right? Don't forget that. Or now the fun question, choose only one, Krishanu Dey or Tuni Goswami, and why? Shobik, for me, a very difficult question because I've never seen them play. And for me to be able to judge someone, I need to have seen them play and not some, old school footage. I've had the pleasure of meeting Chunida multiple times. We've even traveled together with the Indian national team in the past. So therefore, So therefore, I don't know. I can't judge on that. Are their quality improving year after year? Rohit, if it would be improving to the football, then some of these players would make it in the ISL, right? So just think, those who are playing out of there are a lot of players who are playing both ISL and RFDL, where is the improvement? That's a question, right? People who criticize India not achieving big international sports arena, you sponsor them, they're spot on. Where is India achieving success at the international arena? It's not, right? If I like it, if you like it, if we like it, that's a reality, Murali. India is not a sporting superpower, right? That's a brutal reality at the moment. Do you consider Neymar to be a player who couldn't reach his potential? Yeah. I think he could have done more. But injuries, being the way he is, lifestyle, I think is a factor. Yeah, these all affect. Was Jovanovic red? Fair? Pachindu tweeted about refereeing. Manolo, we discussed it earlier. We even, I read it out, and then Blue put it out as well. To me, it's a red. And again, it's shameful that Path now is getting involved in this as well. Again, it's quite funny that a while back, I think it was the Blasters fans who used to always say, no, the BFC is being favored by ref. For me, yeah, that red card changed the whole complexion of the game. But to me, it's a red card. You can give it. So, hi Mayank. Sheet race for Bengaluru FC is getting harder. Anyway, let's see what happens on 25th meeting between AIFF and FSTL. It's not much going to happen. That the meeting, what is it going to be about? It's like, hey, listen, we want more money from you, and the overall in the football product is worse. We want to pay you less. The sad part is that we are discussing. If you look at the 15-year contract that Reliance did in 2010, which was a very, very good contract for. Sorry, what is that? Oops, sorry. It was a very good contract, 750 crores for 15 years with 50 crores on average. Great contract. But now, what's the value of Indian football? 14 years later, we're not 15 years, we're 14 years on. And we've not moved forward. That is the sad part of things, right? Sunil could be having the best club season of his career, it seems. Pavlos, it is, I don't know if it's going to be the best. But it will be, it's already amongst the top three, I would say, right? He's had some very, very good careers. I remember that season at JCT where JCT finished second in the I-League. Some earlier season with BFC most probably would count as well, in which they won the I-League or even reached the AFC Cup final. So therefore, yeah. So for you, less team ISL with some quality players and more teams in I-League or I-League 2? No. I-League also, I think we need to be honest to ourselves what kind of a pool we have. At the moment, we have 25 teams in the top 2 tiers. And if you see, a lot of people say, oh, the I-League is so entertaining, interesting, so many goals, this and that. Why is it happening? Because we have a lot of players who are not of I-League level. So rather have smaller leagues in ISL, I-League, I-League 2, make the I-League 3 bigger. Maybe make the I-League 3 a regional league. And then try and grow through the pyramid and not push it too much. Normally, this is what I don't understand. It is illogical. Without all this grassroots and youth system, we were producing better players. How can we be worse today in our technical abilities, in our basics than we were 10, 15 years ago? It is illogical to me. Where are the players of a caliber, of a quality, of a Renedy Singh, of a Clifford Miranda, of a Stephen Dias, of a Climax, of a Pradeep? Right? We don't have them. Quality defenders like a Mahesh Gawli or Deepak Mondal, right? We don't have those guys. Doesn't the AIFF get 100 plus crore from the government? No, they don't. They're not even, I don't know how much it is. It's a ridiculous figure. The commentator said that if the foul is committed inside the box, it's a penalty and plus yellow, not penalty plus red. And later he said, but they are not experts. And that proves the point. To me, I just look at what's been given in the Champions League and given here, for example, in the Bundesliga. And we've had a few instances this season where it's been, when it's a clear-cut opportunity, clear-cut chance, it's given as a red. Because normally in the last few years, I would have said, you know what? It's a yellow card and a penalty because you don't do double punishments. But now there've been people handing out. For example, the Sadiko thing. I don't understand why the AIFF Disciplinary Committee says, you know what, take that red back. Listen, what was he trying to do? And therefore, even the AIFF Disciplinary Committee doesn't seem to have a standard. It's like the PSC. Anwar Ali, hey, who cares? So these people are weakening their own setup, right? I don't think AIFF will agree. AIFF is still conducting only ISL. They already want to increase the amount they get to 100 crore from us to have full faith. Kalyan Chauba will mess it up. Zoravar, you can demand 100 crores. What is the value of contracts? What FSDL have to ask themselves, what have we done? Have we done enough? Are we pushing the product enough to be able to say, listen, ISL is at that level, national team is that level, the rest of Indian football, listen. In the worst case, they'll say, I'll offer you 10 crores, national team and ISL. If that happens, the AIFF will have to say, we have to raise from the rest of our portfolio 90 crores to get to that 100 crores, which I think is the value of the commercial rights. Right? So the point is, what's the value of the I-League? Aren't the clubs paying 12.5 lakhs, a 2.5 crore to Sony? Right? So I don't know where they will come together. Fans are saying Larinzuala of AIFF FC should be a national team. What do you think? He has 7 goals already this season. I think he's not good enough to play for national team. Manolo, you just answered the question for me. I've said it earlier. To me, nowhere near national team. Nowhere near the national team. And that's, I'd rather have Rahim Ali. I'd rather have Irfan Yadwat. But yeah, who's going to talk about it? So FSDL only wants to manage ISL. What does that include RFDL? No, Rohit, I'm not saying that. Sorry, don't get me wrong. I am saying that that's happened this season, right? If you look at this season, Reliance or FSDL have said, we're managing ISL. RFDL comes under that. And we're managing national team. And all other key properties, I-League, I-League 2, IWL, Santosh Trophy, Women's Nationals, IWL, all of those properties have now gone to Shrachi. And there are different facts and figures around. Someone initially said, you know what? Shrachi supposedly, some have said up to 25 crores. Now, others have said it's only 2.5 crores for the whole package. So it doesn't, the numbers don't add up. For the AIFF to be able to run, they need those 50, 60 minimum. 100 would be perfect for them at this stage, and then try to raise it further. So therefore, I don't know. RFDL is basically ISL reject game time league. Yeah. ISL reject, ISL younger rejects game time league. I think that is most probably Zoravar, the right thing. I knew it. You will say that, okay, Baichung or Sunil. I'll say Baichung. Right? I will say Baichung. But despite all that Sunil is done. Sorry, Sunil. Brother. Is FSDL also running I-League? They're only running ISL, right? They don't run the I-League. The I-League, FSDL only runs the ISL. They also, to some extent, run RFDL. Some of it is run by with the help of the AIFF state associations. Seeing Ashish Rai form, should Kota be considered as right back? 100%. 100%. I've said that, right? Seemingly, Anil Pravakaram wants 100 crores in new deal with FSDL. Joke. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. That's again, give me a better product overall. National team, ISL, I-League. But for ISL also, FSDL has to take that on themselves, that what have they done over the last now 10 and a half years with that product, right? You know, now I face disrespect for being a big heart supporter of Indian national team. For some of my friends, sometimes my blood boils for this. It is very sad to hear. You know, it's it's not the way it should be, right? If you are supporting the Indian football team, and again, I've had this thing with some of my friends, and you know, not in the family but amongst friends who are hardcore cricket fans, and I say, you know, I am a footballer through and through. So therefore, yeah, let's see what happens. But stay strong. You have my support. I think you have got the support also of everyone here watching the video or being in the chat, because anyone who's supporting Indian football has our support. You know, so that's something that I can at least say. Sorry, voila. What is this? Thanks, Uppsala. Do you think Marco Reus could have won Ballon d'Or if injuries were not there? I don't think he's a Ballon d'Or player, but he would have at least won the World Cup in 2014 if he wasn't injured. FC Goa and Jamshedpur FC would be the happiest with the Mohun Bagan draws. Yeah, Mayank, but FC Goa and Jamshedpur FC have to win their matches, right? It's nice in the situation they find themselves in, but again, the points that you have on the board are points on the board, right? Mohun Bagan have 37 points. Goa has 30 points. BFC and Jamshedpur have 28 points. So therefore, I always say is this math calculation saying, oh, you know what, I've got 2 matches less. Okay, plus 6 points. Doesn't work. This league is so inconsistent. You have to win your matches. Okay, the club is taking notice of the unfortunate incidents involving our fans during the BFC OFC game tonight in Bengaluru. The club strongly condemns any form of violence and will be formally addressing the matter with the Indian Super League and BFC. Okay. Wow. Okay. So then, okay. So let me just check that. Let me see. Let me find that tweet. 1 second. Something seemed to have happened. I don't know if you know more, but yeah, I don't know. We will most probably find out and then speak about it. If in a logical way, if refs keep doing basics wrong, what short-term solution do you see via foreign refs? Ogni, none. Foreign refs, who will pay for it? That's the first question. And which foreign ref will come into this? Because if a foreign ref does the mistake, think about it, how much of a mess this will be even more then, right? If a foreign ref comes into India and then suddenly makes these mistakes, it's going to be insane. And VR, it's not happening. And VR, again, I spoke about it, when was it? On Monday, right? So we had the situation on Saturday. We're talking about the Bundesliga. We're not talking about some chota mota league somewhere else, right? We're talking about the Bundesliga, right? In Heidenheim, the system wasn't working. So I had to wait for 4 minutes for the system to be able to reload and then view a situation. And at Bochum, the calibrated line didn't work, where you on television could see that the RB Leipzig striker's ankle or foot, at least a little bit of it, was in offside position. But the goal was given because VR could not step in because VR's calibrated line wasn't working. So if you think in an Indian situation with the standard of an Indian referees, that VR is going to save Indian football, not only you, but everyone who's thinking that is on the wrong path. Sorry. VR could potentially reduce certain mistakes because there's some offside calls, foul calls, which would then be happening, right? But sometimes the human factor, we are forgetting VR as a technology depends on a human sitting there as an operator to decide what's happening. That is a factor which we're not going to get out. And there is certain perceptions always in there. We've seen Pep criticizing, Klopp criticizing, Mourinho criticizing, I don't know where it's criticizing refs in the Premier League. And Germans have the same thing. I've had on the Sunday talk show here in Germany, people say, and they've said it not for the first time, they've said it multiple times this season, get rid of VR. Very interesting conversations happening in Germany. So that's where we are at the moment, right? That people are actually saying remove VR from football. I feel whatever quality Indian number 9s and 10s we have in our pool in a 10-team ISO would find harder to break into teams. There would be warming benches. Rishabh, they're warming benches anyway, right? The quality has decreased. The quality has decreased this season dramatically from a 12 to a 13-team league. Mohun Bagan are top of the league, but look at the football that Mohun Bagan has been playing. The others are even worse. That is the reality. Be formally addressing them. Okay, sorry, I had this. In a 14-team, I said some of these players will be part of the first team, then warming benches. Rishabh, but the overall quality is getting worse now. That is what you need to understand. I think the reduction of foreigners needs to happen. With 3 men, maybe then we'll have more number 9s and 10s in our pool. Sure, most of them find it hard to make it into ISL. Listen, even now, all of the top Indian strikers who have been successful in the I-League have failed in the ISL. The only striker who's played in the last 10 plus years, and even he has played as a winger, is a certain Sunil Chhetri. So all these methods, strategies, tactics to try and enable opportunities for Indian players, all of them have failed. Look at I-League 2 and the quality of I-League 2. And let's not even talk about I-League 3 and then talk about local leagues. This is a problem. Indian government needs to get involved in football, but hey, for our PM, football only comes in his mouth when he goes to foreign countries and say, hey, Indians are big fans of European football. Yeah, but what is the government want? The government needs to support football, but not get involved. But we'll have more than a current limited pool. It's not increasing, right? As per Jagannath, BFC fans were spitting on them. Oh, that's not nice. Diego was also holding Alex jersey. They both were doing that. Manolo, watch the video first. Who did it? Yes, towards the end. So for me, clear penalty, red card can be given. Mauricio is smart also. So that's that. Even though I like FC Goa, but Sadiq was definitely trying to play WWE in that tackle. Was the referee too harsh for the red? The AIFF committee has said otherwise. Our opinion doesn't matter. That's the problem, I'm saying that. Some of these cards that are being pulled back by the disciplinary committee, in my opinion, are wrong. And this is something, let's see. I think Mumbai City, Bengaluru FC doing some job for grassroots developing players. I'm monitoring PFC as well. Yeah, all of them are doing it. Even FC Goa can be named. Maybe even the Blasters can be named, but they're not doing enough. All of them are not doing enough, or rather not producing better quality. That is what our problem is. As per the recent tender and Transit Sports, the value of I-League as per AIFF was 1 crore. Yeah. So overall, supposedly 2.5 crores. So yeah. Honestly, I don't believe this quality of pool. Most Indian players are one season wonders. Once they fall, they go back into I-League. Yeah. That's the problem. We have a lot of players, Rishabh, who are currently playing ISL who should not be even thinking of playing ISL. Right. And if you take out key foreigners in key positions in every team, a lot of players who look good when the foreigners play next to them suddenly become average I-League players. That is the most dangerous thing. I'm already impressed by the gameplay after coming to OC. Acha, Rahul KP. After coming to OC is doing very good. Yeah, Manolo. He's doing better. I think Rahul KP is an intelligent boy. You know, I've known him since 15, 16 years old in the youth squads. Maybe going out of Kerala is good for him, focusing now on his football. And of course, he wants to prove a point. And there is a certain level of talent in the boy, but he has to prove it. Yeah. And today, if he is smarter, that finish that went wide, decision making, right? He just needs to curl the ball. He would have beaten Gurpreet. It was not a matter of power. Our talent pool is too bloated. The best players are scattered across teams. You can only be as good as your teammates and opposition. Exactly, Bablu's admission. Fans barely watch Indian football other than ISL, and Chachi made I-League and IWL paid. Manolo, Shachi has come in, right? Um, they are spending money on Indian football, you know, and they somehow need to make their money back, right? They're not a reliance. So therefore, for them, they can't do a deal where they say, listen, you have it for free. The alternative, at least for I-League, is to watch it on Sony. 2.5 crores for the whole package and 1 crore for I-League as per the I-League teams were told by AIFF in the deal with Shachi. Yeah. So, and that original deal, someone said 25 crores originally, right? So, that's a sad valuation. Which league has better standard? RFDL U17 or AFF U17 Youth League? I would say AFF U17 Youth League because while U17 is something of a different thing, right? If Ajay didn't have such an exceptional season, Sunil Chetri would be leading Golden Boot race. Very, very right. Very, very right. And that's exceptional. Dada, my question, why Shrachi invested money into Mohammedan Sporting if they do not have share? I have really doubt in their legal advisor. Sure, not only them, but Bunker Hill even more. Huh? Bunker Hill, Deepak Sharma has come out today saying he spent most probably around, and this is quite funny, he says most probably around 45 crores. Right? So these people are doing it because they think and believe in their institution, and yeah. As we are overrating even our older stars of the likes of Climax, Minagal, etc., maybe we were above average when our competition was also average. Now we are just average when others have improved. Navi, that is clear. The competition was not as good as it is today. Let's be honest about that. You know, that's a fact. But the reality is, to me, that for us, you know, while the others have developed faster and quicker, we seem to be stagnating or getting worse. That is my concern. I would have never thought that, even if we make small developments, but we make some developments. At the moment, I feel we're not even stagnating. We're moving backwards. That is my big concern, with everything that I see. Why is the feeling there? At least I have this feeling. Why? I don't know. Shachi is not big corporate house who has deep pocket. They are just some Bengal-based real estate. How they're in every fray of Indian football. Shomo, forget Indian football. They have teams in the Hockey India League. They've picked up stakes in the Panja League. They are in some cricket team in UP. They are supposed to build the Bengal Premier League or Super League or whatever. They create the IFA. They're involved. Yeah, they're there. So, I don't know. So I joined late. Was the honor which Red deserved, undeserved? To me, Simon Riley, you can give it. And if I look at European football, these cards have been given this year. So therefore, for me, it can be given. In terms of marketing, FSDL failed at new football fans for ISL. They were temporary ones. Maybe all they could have tried was to target existing football fans who consume football. Rushabh, they did that. They did that in the first 3 years. And the European football fans will tell you, you know what, the ISL is not good enough. I've had this conversation at Mumbai City in the first season. And I tried to make people understand that you support your team. It's not about quality. It's about supporting your local team. And people, sorry, but Indian football fans very often support success. That is the problem. I can't understand why fans are crying about refs giving more yellow and red cards as if that's bad. In our league, defenders make many mistakes, so obviously it will cause more cards. Yeah. And I think defenders are being exposed left, right, and center at the moment. Indian government must get involved in football, but hey, the word football only football comes out of PS4. Yeah, we've had that already. ISA as a product failed to attract European EU football fans, leave non-football watching folks. It has to some extent worked, as I say at the start, but those you got at the start, you've lost over the years because, VR would minimize mistakes, but given the quality of refs here, I doubt how effective would it be. I don't think it would minimize mistakes, Sam, because I think that some of the mistakes would happen, and again, let's not talk about VR at the moment because no one wants to pay for it. Those people who are saying, they want VR, themselves are not willing to invest the money into VR. That is the joke of it. Where's the product of these grassroots investment? Are one of them good enough to replace any of the senior team players? No, they're not, sir. Very, very rightly said. Frankly speaking, 2.5 crore for Indian football marketing partner is nothing. Shomo, that's a lot. Given the quality of a football, what are you? Anyone? Let's say you personally, Shomo, would invest 2.5 crores to market and sell the Indian football rights. How much of those 15 crores can you make back? Would be my simple question to you. Nothing else. How much of the 2.5 crores can you make back? And at the moment, on top of it, add to it, they've got television production costs, they've got other costs. Yeah, that is the real problem. No? We need some quality Punjab and Haryana lads in our pool. They will make difference, maybe physicality and pace. We've had them. Huh? We've had them. We have them. But it's not some region. It needs to be across India. I think AIFF Top Brass made more than tender money. Nice allegation. Can you prove it? No. So if you can prove allegations, then make it. If you can't prove the allegations, don't make allegations. It's very easy to make allegations. Mayank says, Ritik Tiwari and Bryson are the products of FC Goa youth. Nice to see youth level players doing well in the first team. That's great, but what level of players are these, right? That would be my question. But last year, the twin brothers, Karabasas, were also doing good, but this season, I see nowhere. A lot of one-season wonders. Hope FC Goa doesn't do the same with Bryson, Ritik, and vice versa. Mark, I think it's not a question of FC Goa, it's a question of the players, right? You're talking about Azhar and Ayman. I saw them the season before in the Kerala Premier League. Not only them, but Sachin Suresh, Vipin, Nihal, like quite a few of them. But Bunker, I understand because they're kind of sports-based entity, but why Shrachi? Bunker Hill is not a sports-based entity. Who told you that? Shomu? It's the same question that you're asking about Shrachi, you can ask them. Shrachi is trying to build a sports ecosystem. Do you really believe, Zoravar asked Rushabh, European football fans will watch an inferior product in ISL, even European fifth division are better than ISL? That's hard. Who would you rate higher, Prime Goli or Prime Jingan? Goli. Because Marj Goli was much better player. Saying this as a Bengali, it's controversial, but ISL needs new league shield contender and every team gave them an equal fight, then it will spice up. Yeah, Shan, it will. If you're saying previously you had players with better quality, so my question is, what have they achieved even after less origin players in Asian football? Raj, I think we were qualifying for the Asian Cup. which we now most probably will not. Very simply said. And the quality of our football has stagnated or got worse, while the others have improved exponentially. That team, in 9 out of 10 occasions, would have won the SAF Cup. Right? That is not going to be the case. When Diamond Harbour FC will come in ISL, will see their expense, probably one of the biggest. Let's see, Shomo, if Diamond Harbour gets to see the ISL at all. Indian support success, be it in education or sports or politics, it's in the Indian DNA. Sadly, Zorawar, I have to agree with you on that. That is one of the biggest problems that we have in India. It's not about you, me, and whatever, but it's about success. I think introducing relegation also can improve the game quality because no team will rest and chill after that, and they will push and competition rises naturally. Shan, maybe, or teams who say, listen, I don't want to spend, get relegated and shut down their clubs. We've seen that in the I-League, right? Mahindra shut down, JCT shut down. It's not an ISL phenomenon. It's happened in the past in the I-League and NFL as well. If FSL agrees to run only ISL, there won't be RFDL youth leagues. Rauch, I'm not sure what would be part of that package, honestly. Let them talk, let them discuss, let them see. We were qualifying for Asian Cup when it was 16-team competition. This current state is definitely a big downfall. Yeah, Navi, exactly, right? For 24 teams, and we should be there. Relegation would make teams financially unstable. Yeah, and make, some will say it makes the league interesting, so that's it. Or now it's more difficult to prove the allegation in India. Once you enter court in India, most you will spend the rest of your life walking down the stairs because my land case is going. Kumar, it is very simple. In sports, if it's corruption, there are things that you can prove and there are things that are allegations, right? And to me, I will not buy an allegation because someone says it. You have to prove it to me, right? On certain things, I know I've seen certain proof, so I know that there are certain issues, yes, but I'm not going to talk about publicly. But if you are making allegations, you have to have, in my opinion, you have to have proof. In today's world, we can make allegations, say this, not everything, and people believe it. But to me, I'm old school in that. If you make an allegation, you have to prove it to me. I don't need a court as a validation. If you can prove it to me, I am fine with that. If FSL decides to run on ISL, will the referees be their own or AIFF will take money for it? The referees will always be with the AIFF. The referees across the world are always with the national federation. They are not with the leagues. The leagues might enable them through a partnership, sponsorship, whatever, to be salaried. But referees normally either are with the federation, or, for example, in England, they have that offshoot of that PGM, whatever they call it, right? PMGL or whatever they call it. But even that is attached to the FA. So therefore, referees will always stay with the FF. If Churchill Brothers promotes Faisal, I think they may be the second Mohammedan Sporting for lack of sponsor investment. Shan, they will have to prove money, finance. Because FSDL will ask questions to Mohammedan Sporting. Are you in a position, to be part of the ISL? That's going to be the question that needs to be asked, and that is something which is a tough ask of everybody, right? So therefore, I'm not sure if a promotion is so easy. I think if I look at the teams, Intakashi, Freely Reckon, Gokulam Kerala. Those would be my three teams where I'd say they can afford to play ISL. Every other team would have a problem in the early. All right, nearly 1 hour and 50 minutes. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't, please do leave a like behind. Share it within family and friends so that more people can join our conversations. 24 likes so far. Thanks a lot. and we are at 2,108. Welcome, join us in these conversations. Among all this drama, I think Mohun Bagan is in safe hands. Whatever they want to add suffix or prefix per club is in right trajectory in terms of success. Yeah, sure. Very well said. Yeah. The parent club, the mother club in Mohun Bagan Athletic Club might be going into a mess with the elections coming up. But Mohun Bagan Supergiant, because it's been run by Mr. Goenka and his people, is one of the strongest entities, if not the strongest entity in the ISI. Relegation doesn't make sense. Imagine East Bengal get relegated with their multi-crore team against Aizawl FC with an all-Indian team. The quality difference would be insane. First I-League should increase quality. Yeah, but Blue, if East Bengal, let's hypothetically play this through. Forget Mohammedan Sporting, right? Let's speak. Let's say East Bengal gets relegated to the I-League. Do you think East Bengal would be in a position to have this multi-crore team that they have at the moment? Do you think the investor will stay? I mean, there's already talk that Imami might not stay in the summer, right? There is that talk, or that, not that talk, that chatter, let's put it this way in Kolkata. So therefore, for me, that would happen. That could happen. Do you think Manchester City badly missed Rodri or difficult to find substitute? Yes, of course. Rodri, I think now, if anyone talks about the Ballon d'Or, Rodri deserved X times the Ballon d'Or for what he played. The reason Mohun and East Bengal succeed in our league and AIFF is because of the budget they had compared to other clubs. That is also true, Zohar. The Goans then sorted themselves out. Also, Dempo, Salgaonkar, Churchill started spending money, and then they started winning the I-League. You know, even JCT had spent. Personally, feel a major factor is shutting down of these important tournaments like IFF Rovers Cup. Now Federation Cup, these seem like a backbone of ours. Now we know. We have moved from a tournament-based system to leagues. The problem is that all leagues, the only leagues which run most of the year is ISL and I-League. Even the I-League 2 is going to start in a few weeks. I-League 3 is de facto a knockout tournament, right? And that is the problem. All our leagues should be running from September to May, all in parallel. That is where we need to get to. That is the challenge of the pyramid of Indian football. Now it's still AIFF unable to publish financial reports of 22, 23 or 23 said by Ashish. Yeah, but that has a lot of reasons, and I think that is what Ashish is not saying. You know, we've had a transition from one body to another, and then one secretary to another, then from one secretary to another. Again, that homework needs to be done, and who's going to do that, right? So have you heard BFC coach interview? He publicly said that the level of Indian football is so low that ISL shouldn't even be broadcasted outside. Yes, Showcast. I good to see you back, Showcast. Yeah, but today I think that was what they said the other day, and I was quite angry about it because I also said that because criticizing referees and criticizing the quality. There's no need for him to be there, right? He coached but today he's very clear, but he's also very critical about his own players, and I think that was very, very fair. But I think somehow Inter-Kash and Habas don't clicking in a right way this year. They might lose the opportunity. Maybe the reason is coach or performance of players. Shan, Jose Antonio Habas is the most successful coach over the last 10 years in Indian club football. Right. So give him time. He's very demanding. Let's see. Legacy officials are a big problem in Kolkata Maidan football. Yes, sadly, that's the reality. Sorry, it is 22-23. Kumar, it's 22-23, and then now 23-24 needs to be also furnished very soon. So therefore, yeah, both of it is missing. True, that's also true. And I guess in that case, most clubs will start giving only 1-year contract. Yeah, Blue, that's also a danger, right? In terms of fans, I see only Gokulam Kerala being able to contribute in terms of fans. Navi, even Gokulam Kerala have not the fan base that they had pre-COVID. I don't know what happened, but Gokulam Kerala is nowhere near the fan base that they had pre-COVID, right? So to me, again, yeah, they need to do more. They need to do much more. Legacy officials are leeches with political backing. Yeah, sadly, our relegation has most probably increased the culture of overpaying in Indian football, in my opinion. Raj, very, very good point, yes, which you haven't discussed. I also agree with that. So to me, which I think, because then in January, the clubs who are close to the relegation zone or in the relegation zone, they would go berserk. So very, very good point raised by Raj. But Gokulam don't seem to have that quality of winning this. Navi, that's the other thing, but I don't see that them having that base that they had 2018, 2019, they don't have it anymore. Anywhere I can watch the interview, ask Zoravar. Zoravar, I think that was the post-match in the last game of BFC against Hyderabad. I don't think it's anywhere available. I've not seen it. Do you think Abbas is the highest profile manager in football history? He managed Villarreal, if I'm not wrong. No, I think there have been even more high profile coaches. I mean, look at some of these coaches who've coached. Look at for example, Owen Coyle at the moment, coached in the Premier League. Even we had Peter Reid. I mean, Peter Reid is an ex-coach of Everton, Man City. So, we had quite a few at the start of the ISL, very, very high profile coaches. What's your thoughts on Bryson's progression? We have plenty of wingers performing, but they don't perform well for India. Also, we still don't have a proper in strike in ISL. Shokas Bryson, to me, is a standout Indian youngster. Period. Can he do that now till March? That's the question. Because even our best, Lallianzuala Chante, hasn't performed well. So we are in the situation that we are hoping that someone or the other is going to pick up and someone or the other is going to be more persistent and consistent. And that is where we're struggling at the moment, right? Lajong can also contribute a lot in fans. Navi, we're talking about 3,000-4,000. So Lajong, which you think can contribute in a large numbers, is a little more than what Mumbai City most probably would do on a normal day, right? What happened to Chennai City? Why did they shut down right after winning the I-League in 2018-19? Simon, payment issues. A lot of people didn't get the money. Just curious if in some season Real Kashmir C promotes, can we see ISL Action Kashmir? Shan, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. In the short term, I find it difficult. But in the long term, why not? If this whole closed shop sort of thingy opens up, I think Real Kashmir and Aizawl, Shillong Lajong, could be candidates to go up. What's your opinion on this season's I-League? Are you surprised of the points table, or what was it predictable? Showcast, I always say the I-League is the most unpredictable league we have in Indian football, so don't predict anything. Let me just quickly open for me the I-League table one second, and then I'll tell you what I think is crazy or insane. Let me just check points table. Just quickly, let's go through the I-League points table. Churchill Brothers, 19 points. I thought Churchill Brothers could do something this season because for the first time in I don't know how many years, they sorted out their foreigners pre-season, and they didn't start sorting out their foreigners and 5-6 matches gone, you're at nearly the bottom at the table, and then Churchill Brothers sort themselves out. They will have to be a contender. Indakashi, yes, I expected them to be there. At the moment, the big surprise, Namdhari FC. Shillong Lajong, Gokulam Kerala, 4th, 5th. Shillong, mid-table, a little higher than that. Gokulam, I expect a little more. Srineri, of course, great comeback in the last one. 11 points as Rajasthan United. Rajasthan now has new investors, has a little bit of money, so that's fine. Real Kashmir and Dempo are on 10. It's okay, right? For me, that's okay. Wasn't the table updated? 1 second. Wasn't the table updated with today's? 1 second. Let me just pull the standings because Yeah, sorry. The table is not updated on the I-League thingy. Shillong, Najong, Gokulam, Real Kashmir on 13, Rajasthan on 12, Dempo, Srineri, Deccan on 11, and then Aizawl winning today against Delhi FC puts them on 9 each, and SC Bengaluru bottom of the table. For me, as I said, Churchill, let's see. They're doing very well. Namdhari, proper surprise. Interkashi, of course, with 2 losses in the last 5, maybe a few too many. Srini Deccan, only 9th with 11 points. That's a big disappointment in my opinion. And yeah, and the others we'll have to see. Again, things are changing so quickly in the I-League that I think it is, let's see. Today, Bryson, tomorrow, Rahul KP, next day, Vishnu, Indian fans getting a national first place every day. East Bengal fans already wanting Vishnu to be released or relegated to Avdale after the match against FC Goa. Yeah, so Ravar, we are too fickle-minded on this, right? Today we want A, tomorrow we want B, a day after we want C. We're just jumping from here to there, and that is not helping us, right? So therefore, from that perspective, let's wait and see. To me, as I said, end of Feb, early March, I would say would be a time to start discussing who could be part of the national team. I still think that the more experienced players will be getting a call. Let's see what Manolo does. Unlucky Aizawl FC, they always go up by 2-3 goals, but they lack composure and bottle their leads. Love the fact that in the midst of financial crisis, they're promoting their Indian players. Simon, they don't have a financial crisis. I think the owner, knowingly, Mr. Rohite, has reduced the costs. I think that's the thing. Aizawl FC have an owner who has the money. I hope they stay up. Yes, I do also hope that they stay up. Shoka said, what I've noticed about Edmund that he's playing good, but nowhere near great. Also, when he occasionally scores, he's hyped up as a new savior in football. Also, we too impatient to notice properly. Very well summed up. Shoka couldn't have said it better. You've just summed up what the problem is of players being hyped up. And that's why I stay out of the hype factor and I go by experience also. I've said a few times, which a lot of Mohun Bagan fans don't like, that to me, Vishal Keth doesn't seem to be rated by national team coaches. I know Stephen didn't. Stimach and his coaching and his goalkeeping coaches also, and it seems like Manolo doesn't also. So therefore, that's the thing, right? How do they see them? Bryson is the only one consistent, but we saw Jay Gupta, so hope that doesn't happen. Bryson has been consistent now for 4, 5, 6 matches, maybe 7, right? Let's see. March is quite far away. Let's see. Let's have this conversation in 5, 6 weeks, and then we'll see where we are. Sorry, I had a misconception about the Aizawl FC situation. Simon, no problem. They are unlike Trau or Niroka, who had, because of the violence in Manipur, had a problem last season. But Aizawl FC, I think, is a clear cut. Interesting will be what happens in I-League 2 as well. I mean, if we go through that, so therefore, for me, that'll be interesting to see if we go and look at I-League 2. Interesting league. Diamond Harbour FC Bengaluru United, KL Klasa, Neroka, SAT Tirura from Kerala, Sporting Club de Goa, Trau, and United Sports FC. So very interesting mix of teams. So let's wait and see what they do in I-League 2. Are you coming to India to talk with the government regarding diaspora players? There are only hope at the moment. Zoravan, no. I am not coming for football at all. To me, it's a topic, that can be discussed, but I'm not coming for football matters. As I've mentioned on my social medias, I'm working on a project on handball, and that's the reason why I'm heading to India. So let's see. Are you happy with the new Uzbek centre back of Man City? Do you think it can motivate more nations into developing better youngsters, especially India learning from Uzbekistan? Showcast. India needs to learn from so many nations, and the fans are talking about it, but does Indian football care what Uzbekistan is doing? I don't think so. But yes, others can. Or now, if you're given a task such as promoting I-League ISOL team with less budget team to promote, what will be your planning? How you will be dealt? Kumar, the problem is if I want to promote an ISOL FC, there is a barrier, a ceiling of promoting them because they are from the northeast, they are from Mizoram. There is no one in Mumbai, no one in Kolkata, no one in Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai will be interested. That is also reality. But so this is something uh, which even if I wanted to, with whatever they have, you will not be able to do something. So these are realities that are there. As much as it's great because I love Mizoram and I've helped them a lot over the years, worked with Tete. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. Can Indian government include benefit to OCI and PA also in sports? Yes, Rushwa. But do the Indian government give any benefits to OCI PAOs or to NRIs? I don't know. I don't see that. Right. 2 hours and more than 6 minutes, and on this Wednesday evening, 22nd of Jan, on a day that BFC suffered a 2-3 home loss to Odisha FC, which most probably has ended their ISL League Shield quest after leading 2-0 early on, 3 goals for Odisha FC, who are back in the top 6. So that's the one turn that has happened in the ISL today. And we'll see. We'll continue to follow the ISL. It continues tomorrow with the next game. And as Zorawa says, good night. And as you say, as usual, God save Indian football. Yes, every God that you pray and believe in, pray to them that they save Indian football or hope for better days. Tomorrow there won't be a live. Tomorrow I'm on the road, traveling for work, so I won't be able to do a live. Friday I'll be back. As I always say, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot. Do watch the short videos, please. Spread it to other people. That it makes sense to be working on those and increasing the channel reach as well. So therefore, thanks as always for your support, guys. And I'll be back tomorrow. But let me good night. But I'll come to showcase. I recently watched Eze's goal against Mohammedan Sport. Mohan Bagan, supercharged. What a horrible defending it was. People were hyping Eze when no one talked about horrible defenders were of Mohammed Supergiant. I think we discussed it, how bad the defending was. And and therefore that is something. But still, Eze needs to do that move, and that move was great from him. And Blue says, an Indian football fans' Instagram profile is getting spread in Indian football group chats. 2010 to 14 Barca fan, 2014-18 Real Madrid fan, 2018-24 City fan, 25 present Liverpool fan, proper glory hunter. And maybe you would have said before that Man United fan or something else. Yeah, that's it. I think even if we convert a few of those to just support Indian football a little bit, that would help Indian football, guys. Therefore, I'm saying do support Indian football, continue to support Indian football, support this channel, support me, Arunama Chaudhary. Follow me here on my on my YouTube, follow me on my Instagram, on my Twitter, on my X, you want to call it, on Threads, on Blue Sky. Visit arunfoot.com as well. And let's keep on growing the community, guys. Let's keep on talking about things which are important to us and keep hoping. Hope is at least one thing we have, that better times are ahead for us. Speak to you soon.